Well, 62 years ago, Emmett Till and I traveled to Mississippi. He's 14 and I was 16. Things were quite different in America. Then we made a lot of progress. And of course, while we were there, long story short, he whistled at a white lady in Money, Mississippi, and he was kidnapped 3 days later on Sunday morning about 2:30. And we never saw him alive again after that.
They came in where you all were sleeping or staying and took him?
Yes, I could hear them talking outside the house about 2:30 in the morning, and I said, we're getting ready to die. These people are going to kill us. So we're a very religious family, so I started praying, asked God to spare us, and it was dark as a thousand midnights. And as they came to my room, I hear the coming, and they came in with a flashlight in one hand and a pistol in the other. And I was waiting to be shot, and they didn't shoot me. They went to the third room where they found Emmett, and they roused him, and they left with him that morning.
Wow. Did you ever get a good look at their faces?
Oh, yeah, I saw them. Yeah, I mean, they weren't trying to hide. I mean, we're talking about 1955 Mississippi. You don't have to hide anything. And the only way you can understand what it was like, you had to live it, no matter how well or how much I tell the story. If you didn't live it, you can't understand. You had no protection, no rights whatsoever. And nobody's going to do anything to anybody about doing what they did. And that was something that we were taught how to stay alive. We were always taught how to stay alive when we went to the South. Yet still we went because we had relatives, and all you had to do is stay out of those situations where you could get into trouble. Emmett just didn't know the mores of the South. He didn't know the laws of the South. And that's how he got in trouble. Because when he whistled, we couldn't believe that he whistled, you know. Yet still when they came, they never said anything to us about a whistle. They said something about doing some talking, you know. And that's the gist of it. And this is history, and I always preface it by, even I hear stirring animosity, will or hate, we're here to talk about history. In America, we embellish our history, you know. We tell stories that we make it look good when it's not even good. So my story is not a pleasant one, but it's history, and it needs to be told. That way you can measure how far we've come and see how much we need to do.
You've said that for many years nobody ever talked about this or said anything about it. What began to change and you began to be able to share the story, and the story of your cousin began to make national headlines?
I think America did change. America started progressing. They started treating the races better. Then it got to a point, 1985, 30 years after. Now it's a story of interest. So they started interviewing us after 30 years. For 30 years, no one interviewed us. It's like Emmett got what he deserved, and you don't talk about those things. We're doing better. You just don't talk about it.
How do you deal with it when you talk to young people and talk to other people today, remembering all that happened and trying to put it into some perspective for today? What kind of a message do you bring? What do you share with people and kids?
I show them how far we've come. The things that used to be not like that anymore. And I always tell, especially African-American kids, I say we made it as far as we did because there was always somebody that had the fire in them to stand up for us. Couldn't stand up for yourself. A great deal of the abolitionists, and there were white people who were in power and had the authority that helped us to get where we are. And if we make progress, it's going to still have to be there because we have no power except voting power. And most of your politicians of powers to be are people not of color.
How is your cousin remembered today across America? Are there special ceremonies and services that you go and speak at? Are there places that are honoring him today?
Yes, he's remembered in a lot of ways because they have, Till Bill 1 allowed $1 million a year for 10 years to pursue cases from 1970 back. Now they just signed Till Bill 2 allowing money to be allocated. So now he's looked upon differently, and you can't forget him. He still speaks from the grave because the civil rights movement, they feel, started as a result of Miss Rosa Parks refusing to give up her seat when she thought about what happened to Emmett Till. And she was sitting in the right section, but they still wanted her to give up her seat. So there's a lot of history and a lot of progress being made, and we try to encourage people to continue progress with the same system.
Tell us about how this play began, this transcript occurred, and how Bill Stonecker got in touch with you, or how your paths crossed.
There is a Delta State in Cleveland, Mississippi. They invite 40 teachers down in June, 40 teachers in July, and they do a civil rights blues trail. Because Bill, being an old blues player, and civil rights, so he came down, and I met him there. And as a result, the transcripts from Emmett Till's court proceedings been lost for over 50 years. So Bill got hold to him, and he's a journalist teacher too. So he had his class to do it, and he invited me over here, and it was awesome. I come to tell them about the story, and I learned from them by listening to the transcript. I never heard it before, never went in court, and they just had me in tears. So I said, you need to put this on the road. So he has done it there in Sumner, Mississippi. He's an exceptional guy that's progressive and not afraid to stand up for what's right. And it's going to take people like him to make things better, and we really appreciate what he does.
The message, how has it resonated with the people that have seen the production, and has resonated with the people that you've talked to? Have you seen a change of attitude or a positive attitude toward everything?
Well, I try to ease and make people relax, because they think I should hate. I said, I can't afford hate. Hate destroys the hater. I don't have any ill will or hate. You got to, I'm a preacher too, so you got to look. Yeah, you can't say you're a preacher of the gospel and hate. You know, you got to love everybody, pray for those that despitefully use you.
Do you think there's as much hatred or racism, violence today as there was in the 55 and 50s, or do you think a lot of it's cleaned up, or a lot of it is perhaps more settled today?
Well, this is what I say. Evidently, you know, we come a long ways. A lot of things I know I'm 79. I was there 55 years ago. I go there now, so that definitely changed. Laws make people behave better. It doesn't legislate the heart. So sometimes people have preconceived ideas that's in there, but they have to behave better. And so they go to behaving better, then their kids are going to behave better, because you come in the world of blank knowing nothing. The things that you learn from your family. So with the exposure of TV and all those things, we are doing better. Every race has a preconceived idea about certain things for certain ethnic groups. So we had to keep preaching the truth. And if you can get one convert, be satisfied with the one.
All right, well, thank you. Is there anything else that would be helpful for us to know about you, about the situation, about your cousin, Emmett Till?
Well, you know, I just appreciate the people who have accepted, who are trying to do better, who are out there trying to make a difference. I appreciate them. And what happened to Emmett's life, his mother's saying was, I hope you didn't die in vain. He didn't die in vain. Somebody paid the price at every juncture and every turn. But unless some people are committed, there will be no change. So I ask everybody, when you have the opportunity to do what's right, have the courage and the boldness to say it or do it. Don't sit on the sideline.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr.